Hey all, Tim from Infinity RC. Um, I just did a live over at I just did a live feed on Facebook on my Infinity RC page, but I'm gonna do it on here on my YouTube channel. What you're seeing here is a 2.5 Traxxas Tmaxx. Uh, uh, doesn't have a Traxxas motor. It has a .18 Arrow. I believe that's what it is. Uh I can't remember. Uh but it's a 2.5 as you can see. Uh I haven't ran it yet. I'm still waiting for the electronics. Uh I tested everything so far with this, which is your old analog type crystal uh transmitter and receiver, which I have here. All right, and they have the crystals on it. They have the crystal. All right, me, I don't like these. These are 2.7 uh, megahertz. It's an AM channel. All right, so this thing is absolute. I mean, they were good at the time that they had them, but otherwise, I just used them to test to make sure my servos are working and so on and so forth. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna convert it to this, and this is your new digital type thing. So I bought two of these, but I didn't really look at it, and uh, I got the two transmitters, but I didn't get the receivers. So I got to find two receivers, and I could program them, and then I'm going to put them in here. All right. This one also has a reverse. This thing is not built for speed. It's just for like a beginners. I have two 2.5s, and they're mostly for beginners. I start the guys out with the 2.5s, and then I'll upgrade them to the 3.3. So this is going to be a little slow. It's not going to go super fast. It'll go fast enough. All right. What's good about this is that if we want to upgrade the tires, all we have to do is just change a couple of things on it, and we could change the tires. Um, I have roughly, uh, if you see in the background, I have about 6 or 7. I got about 12 RCs that you could see. Was actually four, yeah, 12. All right, but what you over on this side, I have my electrics. I have an X-Max. I have a Rally, a Slash, and I have a Jado. Um, and I have another T-Max. So most of my collection is T-Maxes. I have three Revos. Um, uh, as I said, I only have two 2.5s. All right, uh, and but otherwise, this is I had to do a little customization. Now, what happened with this is that uh, I went on eBay, and uh, this guy had a T-Max roller um, with parts and so on and so forth. He had it as untested, untested, and as is. All right. Well, the pictures look good. They weren't, you know. Of course, buyer beware. All right. Paid now $90 for stuff. I couldn't wait for this stuff to come. It comes, and everything was there. But one of the things that he sends me is the box. All right. This box here. All right. Now it has a switch in it. The switch was really no good. But you know what? You know, how can you send something like that through eBay? This is no good. How am I going to do something like this? This is something that, all right, that went out in the trash. All right. Then he sends me this transmission. This is how it comes. I mean, really. All right. Then there's a couple of strip gears in here. Yeah. All right. Garbage. All right. Other stuff he sent me. All right. Uh, he had the mounting brackets for the thing. All right. He stripped with the regular screws in it. The mounting brackets for the servos. He put the regular. All right. He stripped them out, so he put larger screws in there. All right. He put larger screws in them. You listen. You're gonna strip them out. I understand that. All right. Put a little Loctite or something in there, and you're pretty much good. You know. But he didn't do that. He put oversized screws in, stretched them out. They went in the garbage. So I spent $90 for pretty much the base, maybe the shocks and everything, and then he sends me a Revo frame. All right, talk about despicable. He sends it with the battery still lodged in there. I mean, look at this screws, oversized screws. Look what he did. He This is despicable. I mean, I would never send anything like this. I would never ever send something like this. All right. You know, if I sent something like this, if I said, "Oh, if you want a Revo part, or a frame or anything, I'll send it to you, free of charge. I won't, I mean, $90, and you know, I mean, I'll probably use this frame for something else, but you know what? I don't, for what I got, and then he sends me this rustler thing. This is the only thing on the rustler. I mean, I wouldn't even know what to do with this. So, you know what? Buyer beware. Sometimes things aren't as good as you think it is. So, anyway, getting back to this. Uh, this thing has low profiles. Uh, I redid the shocks. It is a little. Um, I have to do adjustments on the wheels and everything. But otherwise, now since this has the reverse, I'm going to put the since this has the reverse, I'm going to put the whatchamacallit on this, um the OptiDrive. And what the OptiDrive is that so you don't strip or destroy the transmission. What you do is uh actually I can't put the OptiDrive in there because there's no piece for it. Oh well. Anyway, so I'm just gonna I have to put a just getting back to the OptiDrive. What the OptiDrive is when you switch the gear thing into reverse, so you don't hit the gas, all right, and strip the gears inside here. So the older 2.5s had that problem was that when you switch it over to reverse, all right, uh, the thing would go in and it would start stripping gears in on this. So what happened was what the OptiDrive did was is that if you hit the gas and you accidentally put the reverse on, all right, it would kick into reverse and would strip gears. So what the OptiDrive does is it actually waits for the car to stop before it goes into the reverse gear, which is a good thing. It saves on the transmission and everything. So this is what uh, we have. Now I had to get what I had to do on here is that they have uh, the bell escutcheons, the uh, the bell clutches that you have for the 3.3. I think it's a uh, an 18th or a 16 tooth um, bell, clutch bell. All right. So when this turns and it revs up, what it does is it turns this. All right. It turns this. Once this gets to a certain RPM, it'll kick in the transmission and take off. All right. But this does not have the the optic drive for the reverse. All right. I wish it did, but you know. All right. Now, what this also has is the other one usually has a 6 volt. Um, they call it a hump battery, and what a hump battery is let me see if I have one here. I should. Um, I have one here somewhere. I think this is it. Is this it? This looks like it. Let me see if I have it. Here you go. Yeah, this is the hump battery. They call this a hump battery. This is usually used for Tmax's. Some of the Losi's use it. All right, and then you have a flat battery, which is used mostly on the Revos. All right, so um, this is for the Revos. This is for the thing. My Jado actually takes this too. All right, so Revo and Jado for the flat battery. Tmaxx is for the hump battery. Now, unfortunately, this one does not have a thing. So it's four AA batteries, which comes up to 6 volts and has a switch and everything. So this one's going to be a basic one. We can upgrade that later on, but what I do have is what I like about the Tmaxx is that this whole front end uh, is good. Uh, what we have on the where's my stuff here? Now, what I have here is I have two of the uh, plates, which is this down here. All right. Now, you'll see one is bigger than the other. Okay. This is what I have on there now. That's the 2.5. This is the extended version. Now, when you do the extended version, what I like about this is that I could take the whole front off on this and the whole rear off on this and just mount them here. All right. Now, the only thing I do have to change on this would be the frame rails. All right, which is this. Okay. The frame rails, they go underneath. All right. I have to change the frame rails, which these are a little longer, and then everything will match up. Even the skid plates on these will match up to everything here. Um, the transmission will go here. It's another size transmission, but this also has um, different drive shafts. All right, so but they will fit up to the differentials here. So it's just that the drive shafts are a little different. They're a little thicker on one side. They're a little longer. They're a little more sturdier too. All right. Uh, far as everything else, this one does not have reverse. All right. This is just for the servo for the this is going to be the servo for the steering. All right, and then there's another servo that goes over here. These two mounting things for the motor. All right, and this is your pivot arm and so on and so forth. Your gas tank. These four, one, two, three, four. These oval ones are for you get for your motor. These four down here on each side, therefore um, your transmission mounts. Uh, this is for your battery box here, your receiver box, and these two screws are for your battery box. All right, this is for your front. All right, um, this is for connecting your front, and then this one over here. Um, I gotta see what these are. These are your battery boxes. This may be your servo. One, two, three, four. And what these? Oh, these are for your steering. There's posts that go in uh, that hold everything in, and they're on like a pivot. So when the servo wants to make a turn, these things have two pivot arms underneath. So this is what holds those pivot arms in place. All right, and then this is for the rear, the rear suspension. So it's not that hard. It's a couple of bolts and that's it. All right. Um, and then you have to do some modifications to the drive shafts. You know, which is no big deal. I would say it costs you about uh, say you buy say you get a new motor, new transmission. All right, the motor will be about $150, and then the transmissions are like another 75. So so you're spending like 200 something bucks for it. All right, and you're upgrading it. All right, but the front everything fits nicely. You can upgrade everything. Everything will fit fine. Now what I did was I actually ordered some frame rails for this. I had an old frame rail, so I put the. This is your frame rail. I'm just waiting to order to get the new one for here. Okay, so as I said, this is the same thing as this, but it's a little longer. All right, there's your servo. All right, now what this guy also did with this was he overscrewed everything in there. He put oversized screws in everything. I had to change a lot of this stuff. All right, but this is your regular so-called drive shafts. All right, that go through. All right, you got your braking system here, and this is all going to be changed. If you look at the newer Tmaxxes, they're a little different now. I have. Just bear with me for a second here. I'll show you what the other ones look like. If I find them. Here we go. These are the other drive shafts. Now what happens is they got rid of the thing and it's a whole new different design, but these are actually go into like a flywheel type thing. Um, I got it right here. Excellent. All right. This goes in the back of the transmission, and then in the back of the transmission, you got a flywheel like this. This goes like this. All right, and this, yeah, it goes like this. All right. Yep, the shaft that goes through here. All right, and this is actually your brake cylinder, your brake rotor. The brakes will go over this, and this way, when you hit the controller to hit the brakes, the brakes will go on here. Now the other one is a solid disc, and what was happening with that is that they would warp. So you'd be driving, and all of a sudden the car would go like, you know, the car would just stop dead and flip and things like that. So they put the holes in here so this way it'll distribute the air and everything so it wouldn't warp. They did a nice job on that. All right, and then you got this going into the old differential, which is the same size, but these are bigger hold um, differentials. All right, these are bigger hold differentials. Now I believe, if I'm correct, that this will match up to your old uh, two point your old frame. So this is the piece that's a little longer. All right, and the thing with this is you gotta get them just right, because you know what? If you get a little resistance, it's not good. You want something that'll be, I mean, it just goes right in now. All right, this is how you know. There we go. All right. So, that's basically the thing. Now, I don't know what kind of body I'm going to put on that as of yet. I mean, I got a whole crap load of them. Yeah, got a whole crap load. But I think I know which to use somewhere. It's kind of like a really, really good. It's like one of the bodies that I just. Here it is. Let me take this. This is. I think I'm going to use this one right here. It's a ram. Um, it needs some work, so I think we're gonna put this on it. That's what I'm gonna use for. Man, that looks good. I gotta have it, and I think this is like an awesome body. And I always kept it. I said, I'm gonna use. All right, this is an awesome body. I'm gonna use this one. I'll clean it up, and this is gonna be the body for it. All right. So anyway, so this is what we got. All right. Hope to talk to you soon. Good night.